Moving overseas, how well, how fast do you learn and adapt? I thought about naming this video Happiness. Can you find it? Moving, retiring, living overseas. Anyway, that's kind of the subject we're going to talk about today. I'm here in Cebu City, Cebu, the Philippines, in the central Visayas, central area of the Philippines. Uh, people speak, many people speak pretty good English, so you can communicate here. But I'm talking generally all over the world if you move overseas. For instance, I met a guy the other day, and he said, "I'm going to Eastern Europe. I'm going to check that out because I like to change the seasons, and you don't get that here in the Philippines. So, we all have priorities, comfort levels, and let's talk a little bit about that. And if you're interested in this type of video, be sure to comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, and if you share the video, all that type of thing helps the algorithms. Always appreciate that. There are ways to support the channel in the first comment of most of the videos. Anyway, yeah, walking the BRT, Bus Rapid Transit, is a new system being put in over here. I talked to a guy the other day that lived and worked in Singapore for 13 years, and now he's working here at the Social. In fact, he's one of the owners of the Social in Ayala Mall, bar restaurant type area, and he was saying, yeah, he's very happy with Cebu, and what a big difference from Singapore, very very developed country. They were at one point in time they were a poor nation state, city state, and they came out of it, became a relatively wealthy. Now I think they're very expensive as well to live there. Very limited land area, so the cost of building is quite high. But what will make you happy? You should sit down and think about that. What are your priorities? What will make you happy? What is your comfort level? I'm very happy in the Philippines. The cost of living fits into my budget. I'm not rich, so I still have to manage my budget, stay in control of my budget. And one note: if you're not in control of your life and your budget, that means somebody else is. And that could make a trip anywhere, a retirement, that could make a trip anywhere very unpleasant. And sometimes I get comments, people bad mouthing the Philippines or other countries as well. And they went to that country and they had a bad experience, whether it's financially, whether they got scammed, whether they got involved with a girl that fell in lust with a girl, and eventually turned into a really bad situation, and they've just got a really sour taste in their mouth about the whole experience, and you don't want that. So think about it. What do you want? One saying I heard a long time ago and use it occasionally: life happens while you're planning it. You meet people, things happen in your life. When I came here 2015, been here about 10 years, and my plan was to use Cebu City, the Philippines, as a base to travel out of. And for a number of reasons, Cebu City's big enough, there's enough things to do on the island of Cebu and neighboring islands. Never traveled nearly as much as I planned to. Still happy. I'm happy here. I'm content. So yeah, know what your priorities are, and understand. Yeah, it's no big deal. It's not life-shattering if those priorities change over time. I've changed my priorities. Getting down to the downtown area on Osmeña Boulevard, goes from the uptown to the downtown area. Little food vendors out on many areas. No, I grew up in the north of the U.S., north central USA. Cold winters, extremely cold. I never adapted very well to cold. So once I got out of college, a couple of years out, married, we moved to Phoenix, Arizona. Very hot. The winters it can freeze in the wintertime in the evening. But yeah, I mean it's over 100 degrees many months of the year. Dry heat, low humidity, and I thought humidity would be my major concern when I came to the Philippines. And it took me about 6 months to adapt to the weather, but I like it here. I like it here. Anywhere, the highs anywhere from 80 degrees to mid 90s. Basically, can get into the 70s at night some parts of the year. Humidity is the big thing. You know, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. And the last week or two has been quite humid here. In fact, I've been turning my aircon on much earlier. Dealing with the immigration is very easy here. Getting your extensions on your tourist visa if you're on a tourist visa. Number of other visas available as well. Pretty easy to deal with all that, and if you don't want, there's always a visa agency that you can deal with, like JRC Visa Consultancy. They've got offices in Cebu City, and Manila, and Dumaguete. So you have options for budget. Even in the city, you can find, once you get away from the best locations, right inside of the mall areas, the business major business districts. Yeah, I was down here, took a trip down here looking for some product, and they didn't have exactly what I wanted there, but they're egg rivet. There are animal food, a lot of animals here. Roosters and dogs and cats and pigs and carabao and I'm sure other types of animals as well. In my 10 years here in the Philippines, I've met many people who have spent quite a bit of time in Thailand and quite a bit of time. I've met one guy, he spends 2-3 months in the Philippines. He goes to Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia. He just continues. He's been doing this for years, bouncing around. And I guess a question: Have you ever moved? If you're in the U.S., Canada, Australia, wherever, New Zealand, Europe, have you moved? How many times have you moved in your life to a different part of the city, different part of the country? How did you adapt there? I know a lot of military people that have been stationed around the world, and sometimes the experience, I think sometimes the people who, although that's not a red flag, that have grew up and lived in the same place all their life and haven't really experienced that much of a cultural change, may or may not. Some of those people can adapt very well outside of that area. Other people have a difficult time. I've got quite a number of friends who stay here for 4, 5, 6 months, go back to their country for a number of months, bounce back and forth. They've got commitments back home. Commitments, family, properties, legal things to be dealing with, businesses. So you know, we all have different situations, and there are, like Cebu City. I've got many subscribers live out in the province. Every place is a province in the Philippines, but province basically means out in the country, outside of the larger towns and cities. You know, your access to, you've got a number of, you can have a garden, you slower pace of life, but your access to goods in the grocery store, although they still are relatively extensive, getting imported type items are less likely, although you can order them online. The medical care options are less outside of the towns and cities. I know a couple people that live on neighboring islands, smaller islands. That one guy told me, unless if you want beef, unless you're they only process one beef, one cow early Sunday morning. If you're not there early Sunday morning, you're not going to get any beef that week. And he said they make a trip. They take a ferry trip over to Cebu City once a month, load up at SR or Landers. They're like Costco type membership stores, have a lot of imported goods in there. We're all going to have a little different experience and perspective. We visit the different places. This is the downtown area near Cologne Street, one of the oldest streets in the country, if not the oldest. And your perception of what you're experiencing will be different than mine. And it's always interesting talking to my subscribers and expats I meet here, and about their experience. Geez, my experience is and perception of that experience is quite a bit different. I think there are record numbers of each year of American expats from the USA going to other countries. I think the biggest destination is Mexico. One of the major reasons it's so close. They can bounce back and forth between their home area and their family. Costa Rica, Panama, even South America countries, some of them. I've researched some of those before I came here. And glad that I chose the Philippines. Even in Southeast Asia, it's a 13, 14-hour flight, which I really hate. But there are other options. There are other countries. If you get bored in the Philippines, there's many other islands to visit. Lots of different things to do. There's Vietnam. I've been to Vietnam. Has its options. Although unlike the Philippines, once you go out, a lot of people still speak English out in the countries, out in the different towns. Unlike what I've been told about Vietnam, once you get out of the major city, and even there, not many people speak English. And everything, the pharmacy menus, everything else is pretty much in Vietnamese. But here in the Philippines, English is the second official language, so virtually all legal documents are in English, for instance. So yeah, many options, and we're all different. I met a guy walking the other day, and he just came here from Thailand, and he said, the language barrier in Thailand is a major issue. Infrastructure better in many parts of Thailand in the cities, but he wasn't sure if Philippines was. I think he'd only been here a couple of weeks. If Philippines was going to fill that void for him. Can you find happiness moving overseas? A lot depends on you and your attitude. I've met guys here that complain, and it's like, well, why are you here? And even during the pandemic, the lockdowns, I think the Philippines was locked down even more strict than like the USA. And I found my girlfriend said, let's go for a walk. I said, well, there are checkpoints out there. She says, I know where they're at. We can walk around the checkpoints, no problem. And we did. And we needed there was a point in time where you needed a QR code, a pass to go out, go into grocery stores. And I think we had 3 for our condo building for about, I forget how many different people. Condo building was almost vacant because most of the people went back to their province, back to their home countries. And I would tip the guard, and he always had a pass for me. And it was the security guard's pass, and they had other people's names written on the back, and it worked for me. There are ways around. There are ways around a lot of the issues that these governments in times try to put roadblocks in your way. There are ways to continue on with your life, enjoying life. And I had a couple of friends went back to the U.S. They wanted to have access to U.S. medical care in case that turned out to be as bad as some people were saying. Some of the challenges living overseas, and I'll speak specifically about the Philippines, well, much more so in Vietnam. Go into a store, a supermarket, something, everything is in Vietnamese. Wouldn't you think they would give an English, put everything in English? You know, that would be nice, but even many of the stores here, you go and you look at products, you start trying to read the ingredients and stuff, and it's imported from different countries that export to many different countries, and they'll have 10 different languages, and because they've got to fit 10 different languages or even 5 or whatever, they print very, very small, so very difficult to read the ingredients. For instance, Koreans are the biggest tourist people here, and so you go into an S&R like a Costco or a Metro or other food store, and a lot of the foods you don't even recognize what they are. Squid flavored chips, for instance, something like that. Fish flavored things that you would never even think about buying in your own, you never saw in your own country. So it's a learning experience. You learn about immigration, you learn about the laws, about the customs, about every country too. Certain things are offensive. Some countries, I think Muslim countries, touching somebody on the top of the head like a kid is offensive, I think. You should research the customs and the laws of a country before you move there. And, here in the Philippines, it's more communal. In the U.S., many other Western countries, more individualistic. Confrontation is really frowned about here. Will usually make a situation even worse. Traffic here. No traffic signals, but part of the day that's coming out of a mall, country mall in Banilad, I think, Cebu City, and they got a couple of guys directing traffic. Anyway, confrontations anywhere with anyone. You want to be diplomatic, and especially in public. If you try to confront somebody in public, in front of their family, friends, coworkers, very, very, very frowned against, and you will be looked down on by those who witness it as a nasty foreigner, for instance. Taking your shoes off before you enter somebody's house or apartment condo is very, very common here. In fact, a lot of condos don't allow shoes to be stored outside of their door, but some do, and I've been into condo buildings where, outside of every door there's a big stack of everybody's shoes. They take one pair off and they put another pair on inside, and that's kind of an Asian thing. I think many Asian countries do similar. In the Philippines, you'll often see a younger person take, in fact, my girlfriend's family, the younger people will take my hand, put it to their forehead, a form of respect and blessing. And even older adults, you'll see them doing that to older family members and relatives, if you see that. Other Asian countries, they'll put their hands together in front of them and bow a little bit, and depends upon who is the more respected person. The person showing the respect usually bows a little further than the other person, I believe. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong there, but any other customs and things that you've experienced here in the Philippines and or other countries that you've visited? Let us know in the comments. Always interesting. There are articles and books written about that, the various customs, what you can do, and the laws in various countries that sometimes seem a little strange. Anyway, see you in the next video.